here we have our LSU O'Rourke. This, let me see if I can pull this out. Yes. This is a grafted tree that I had grafted it on what was given to me as a desert king, but it's not a desert king. And if you look here, you'll see I grafted two. I like to graft two just in case one of them doesn't take. And that's, take a look here. You can see the dark color of the wood. It's completely different, but it's on there pretty good because that was done, I would say last year. I think last year. Anyways, it didn't do so many figs this year. I had a few, but I like the shape. It's quite unique with the stem, a very long stem. Not a very big fig, but it could just be 15 grams. Let's see how this thing tastes. All right. So, LSU O'Rourke. Let's slice it open. So, this fig and all LSU figs were actually engineered in a lab. They were based off of a Celeste fig, and what they did in Louisiana State University is they combined a Celeste fig, which is a very popular fig in the United States, and they combined it with a Smyrna fig and came up with a whole bunch of different figs, such as LSU Hollier, LSU Champagne, LSU Tiger, and many others. Give that a try. Tell me what you think. Pretty good, huh?
Nice.
Refreshing. Not a very intense berry flavor. Maybe like more of a sweet, kind of a flowery flavor. You know, like
Good with coffee in the morning.
yeah. I would probably describe it as like a fruity, kind of like a rose water flavor, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting fig. One of the LSU varieties. Here are some of the popular LSU varieties and some of the not as popular LSU varieties. In case you're wondering, for this graft here, I initially wrapped it with parafilm, and then what I did is I used electrical tape to secure it. And I like to get my electrical tape in very tight so that the cambium layer makes the proper contact. This is a cleft graft. So this is that same LSU O'Rourke, and as you recall, I did graft this. It was grafted from before. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to take an air layer from the graft. So this is all new growth here, okay? This was grafted last year. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an air layer from the new growth. So what I'm going to do is I want to support it. So I'm going to put this stake here. And I'm going to put my graft here. So what I'm going to do is before I start, let me go grab something to tie this here to give it some extra support. Yeah. Alright, so what I'm going to do just temporarily, I'm going to put this, but I don't advise you to do this, but this is just temporary until I find something to support it with. I'm going to take off this leaf here. Okay. And right now is not a good time to actually do these because the bark is not slipping. In the early spring, the bark slips and it's easy to peel off. So right now, I'm going to, and if you notice this bark here, it's kind of green, which usually it's better to have the brown bark, although some people will not agree with me on that. I find usually it's better success when the bark is like that. I'm just going to shave it away. Alright, so if you look at that, I don't usually go all the way around, although it's green here so it's hard to see, but it actually, a little piece is there. But I did scrape, for the most part, all the way around. Okay. And here's my bag. Okay, I actually broke it off as I was cutting, so I don't know if this is going to work or not, but hey, the best thing about gardening is that it's a learning experience. So I'm going to use some rooting powder here to help me, because and I just have a bag like this. These are 4x8 bags. I filled it up with soil, a little moist, and I got some electrical tape here. And I am going to try to get this whole thing inside the bag. I have had success rooting cuttings completely submerged under the potting mix. In this case, what I'll do is I'll watch the top of the bag, and if I see any green develop, I will poke a hole near the green to allow it to come out, and that will be my top growth. So you want to put enough to secure it, but it would be nice not to block your vision for when the roots, or if the roots, come in. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what happens. Normally it would have been like this, but I broke it. Oh well.